of the winter, but it feels like the middle of spring as the sun is out. It's around 54 degrees as we approach kickoff. These two squads anxious to have a game finally in nice weather. As we spoke with both coaches coming into the week, Coach Don D'Ambra of St. Joe's and Coach Michael Marciano of Drexel, both of them, being programs here in Philadelphia in the northeast region of the country, have waited with anticipation for these warm weather days. Soccer teams traditionally accustomed to playing in the fall, getting used to having the warmth of summer, and then the season gets progressively colder. It's been the flip of that here to start the 2021 campaign. So these two squads excited to be out playing in the sun on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon here in West Philadelphia. We'll step away, kickoff coming up. But when we come back from the break, starting lineups, you're watching Drexel Soccer here on Flow Sports. Today's Keys to the Game brought to you by Tower Health. And a quick look at the keys to the game. For the Dragons, it's to avoid set-piece opportunities. This is a large St. Joe's team. They have advantages vertically in the air because of their size, and something that Drexel head coach Michael Marciano spoke about going into this matchup is that on Saturday they gave up too many set pieces early on, including a penalty kick in the first 20 minutes of their match against St. Joe's. And obviously St. Joe's capitalized on that, took the early advantage, and was able to coast to the victory from that point out. So the keys to the game today for the Dragons: avoid set-piece opportunities. Once again, today's keys of the game presented by Tower Health Medical Group, as we are moments away from kickoff here in West Philadelphia. Drexel dressed in their home yellow and white kits with navy blue shorts. St. Joe's comes out in their road red. They'll be traveling left to right on your screen. Drexel going right to left. And there you see Chris Donovan in the center circle for the Dragons. Missed time on Saturday with an injury. Drexel happy to have him back as we are underway here in West Philadelphia. It's the first home match of the tenure of Drexel's first-year head coach, Michael Marciano. We'll take a quick look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting St. Joe's squad. They start number 3, David Garana, a senior from Rochester, New York. Number 5, Daniel Morales, a senior from Santa Clarita, California, as this opportunity crosses over the crossbar. Number 7, Alan Kalenbeck. He scored in Saturday's matchup between these two teams. He's a senior from Indianapolis, Indiana. Aiden Watkins, another senior captain from Indianapolis, Indiana. Alex Hood, a redshirt freshman in the midfield from Owings, Maryland. Nemo Philippe from Hamburg, Germany. Johnny Cunningham, a junior from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Alex Hartman, a sophomore from Hamburg, Germany. Jack Hirschfield from Marshfield, Massachusetts. And in goal, Kyle Allen, a senior from Collegeville, Pennsylvania. The head coach for St. Joe's in his 11th season is Don D'Ambra, assisted by Steve Wacker and Rich Ongaro, as Drexel deep in St. Joe's territory. No opportunity for the Dragons yet, and we'll take a look at Drexel's starting lineup. They're playing 2 up front. At one forward spot, Chris Donovan, the junior from Paoli, Pennsylvania, rejoins the starting lineup after missing time due to an injury. He's next to Lalu Daranigio as Donovan plays the ball ahead, but it rolls into the hands of Allen. So Daranigio, the senior from Lagos, Nigeria, alongside Donovan up front for Drexel. In the midfield, they're playing 5. Joey Martini, a junior from Chester Springs, Pennsylvania, wearing number 8. Number 16, Kyle Tucker, a 6-foot junior from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Number 19, Elliot Swigert, a 5'11 sophomore from Oakland, California. Number 24, Patrick Murphy, a senior and a leader for the Dragons. He's from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Number 29, Adam Nork, the 5'10 senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Then on the back line for the Dragons, Tiago Teixeira, the junior from Porto, Portugal. Cesar Banacloy Harcourt, the freshman from Valencia, Spain. And Colin Davis, the 6'1 sophomore out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. In goal for the Dragons, the junior out of East Northport, New York, Stephen Kopsachillis. Drexel's head coach, Michael Marciano. He's assisted by Flo Liu, David Castellanos, Matthew Dabrowski, and Austin Alvarado. Tail end of the third minute here in West Philadelphia. Free kick for St. Joe's near midfield. And these are the opportunities that Coach Marciano and the Dragons wanted to prevent coming into today, as Aiden Watkins, the 6'1 senior captain, lines up to take it. At the 18-yard marker, a couple touches by some red jerseys, but cleared away. And now a strong kick across the end line. This will be a goal kick for the Dragons, the last touched by the left foot of Johnny Cunningham. And when speaking to Coach Marciano earlier this week about what the 2021 campaign has been like and the adjustments he's had to make as a first-year head coach, he told me that I hate roller coasters, and this has been one heck of a roller coaster. So many obstacles early on across college athletics, and it's been an interesting transition for Coach Marciano, but speaking to some of his players, including Pat Murphy, they're excited. They love playing for him early on. They're motivated by the changes, the new system, and they feel that their loss to St. Joe's on Saturday, it was just a case where they didn't play up to their potential, and they're excited to have a rematch here on their home pitch. And it's rare to see two teams play against one another twice in a college soccer season. Don't traditionally see that, but obviously in 2021, these two teams so close to one another. And so St. Joe's and Drexel playing a home road series. Daranigio, nice pass ahead. And this is a strong cross as the flag is up. And an offside is called on the Dragons. That was Pat Murphy who sent in the cross, but who went too soon, on the pass from Daranigio as St. Joe's takes over. Murphy, nice through ball. Donovan tried to leave it for Daranigio, but it was broken up. That's a dangerous pair there, as Daranigio scored 2 goals in Drexel's season opener versus Villanova. Donovan had 1. Kopsachillis plays it towards his right as we are in the 6th minute here of the first half, still scoreless. At midfield, St. Joe's able to take possession here. Alex Hood near the far touchline. As the Hawks look to develop some rhythm offensively. Grana swings it backwards. Now on the Drexel back line as Vanicloy Harcourt sends it over to Kopsachillis. Short clearance here to the close sideline as the ball is cleared out of play. Both of these teams come into today dealing with some injuries. Drexel missing a few key players, including their senior keeper, Cameron Sanders, who was hurt on Saturday against St. Joe's, as this cross is easily cleaned up by Allen. Tiago Teixeira tried to send it in. Didn't get much off of his left foot there. Cameron Sanders, as I was mentioning before that cross sent in, injured in the first half against St. Joe's, and it's been a solid battle this year between Sanders in his redshirt senior campaign and Steven Kopsachillis, the junior. Coach Marciano has liked what he's seen early on from both keepers. He thinks that they each have distinct qualities at that position and offer something special for the squad. So when Cam gets back healthy, he expects it to be a continual competition and for Drexel to have split time in goal this year. Also out with injuries for the Dragons, you see El Cahoon, the sophomore from North Potomac, Maryland, and Valtteri Hiloskorpi, the sophomore from Finland, both out due to injuries in this 2021 campaign. Adrian Ito Martin also unavailable today for the Dragons. And Michael McCarthy, he's healthy, but won't be able to play as he's serving a red card suspension from Saturday. McCarthy, a key loss for Drexel, as he's been a presence for them defensively. A 6'3 junior from Berwyn, Pennsylvania. Plays a big role for the Dragons, but they're going to have to make up for his loss here today. 10th minute of play, still scoreless between two 1-1 squads who met earlier this week. Drexel lost to St. Joe's on Saturday, trying to avenge that road loss. Pressure here from St. Joe's. Donovan makes a touch with his forehead. Now streaks up the close sideline. No whistle as the ball trickles towards the end line. Donovan keeps it in, sends it across on the ground, and now it's cleared away. That was great hustle by Donovan to make something out of nothing. But credit St. Joe's solid defense to slow down that scoring opportunity. The throw-in goes to Martini. Martini cuts back, tries a cross. It takes a hop. Donovan made the touch. Nork in the area. But solid defense there by Nemo Phillip. And the Redhawks thwart the Dragons' effort. Good pace here by Swigert as he sprints towards the end line, cuts back, and drops it off to Teixeira. As Drexel able to generate a corner kick, their first opportunity off a set piece here in the half. It will come from the left corner. Kyle Tucker, the 6-foot junior from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, lines up to take it. Line drive cross, still in the box. And now a player for St. Joe's takes a tumble as he's fouled. Contact was made by Colin Davis, so St. Joe's will have an opportunity to send this away. Drexel unable to capitalize off the set piece. Allen to send it away. Near the center circle. Punted back down towards the St. Joe's side of the turf by Kyle Tucker and then cleaned up again by Allen. Through the first 13 minutes of play. Drexel in control, at least of the pace of this match. As here they go on the attack again. Nice through ball to Donovan. He tracks it down in the close corner and plays it back over to Teixeira. He tries a cross for Daranigio, but too high. Another chance here for the Dragons as the ball enters the box. We have a whistle. And this is a penalty kick opportunity for the Dragons. So Drexel will have the PK. It was St. Joe's back on Saturday who scored first off a penalty kick opportunity. Drexel will get one here with 31 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the first half. The clock is stopped. And Daranigio stares into the goal with a chance to put one past Allen. Daranigio deflected away. A brilliant save made by Kyle Allen. He guessed correctly and keeps the Dragons off the board. Corner for Drexel as the ball trickled out across the end line. But a low percentage save there made by Kyle Allen. And Drexel cannot make St. Joe's pay on the PK. Will they on the corner? Cleared away. Donovan on the ground. Daranigio tries a shot, and it misses wide left. Lalu with an excellent look at the goal, but put it too far to the left on the turf. Two missed chances for the Dragons here early in this half. And we'll take another look at that PK. Oh, excuse me, this is a look at that penalty. And that was the call made there as one of the Dragons slipped up onto the end line. That drew the attention of the referees. And then obviously after that, Daranigio had the opportunity to give Drexel the advantage. But a great save was made by Kyle Allen as we have a foul here. Drexel with a free kick. Elliot Swigert to take it. Swigert, nice ball into the box, but it's headed away by Alex Hartmann, the 6'7" defender from Hamburg, Germany. Hartmann, a physical presence on the back line for St. Joe's. And this is a tall St. Joe's lineup. He's their largest tree. As the Hawks try to go on the attack here. Nemo Phillip plays the ball forward. Nobody home for him. And Teixeira is there for the stop. And so far, the Dragons, with control of pace and possession, the only time St. Joe's has been a threat to go on the attack is when the Dragons have given the ball away on their own defensive third. Big shout out to Drexel men's soccer class of 2019, Robert Smith, who I know is following this game closely. Seeing a lot of his friends out there on the pitch here today. And he was anticipating some great things going into this one. Want to give him a shout out for helping me get ready for this match. As the ball at midfield, St. Joe's on the attack here. Hood Sends it into the box. Kopsachillis comes out to make the stop, and will send it away with a little over 28 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Misplayed ball on the far sideline results in a St. Joe's throw-in. D'Arenigio in space. And here come the Dragons on the attack. To the close sideline. Kept in play. Nice effort there by Swigert. But now a late whistle for the throw-in. And so far, the Dragons have played the game they wanted to coming into this. Coach Marciano wanted to limit St. Joe's set-piece opportunities. And they haven't had any on the offensive side of the field, except for a free kick that came from right around midfield. Wasn't a great opportunity. Donovan, guarded by two red jerseys as the ball stays in on the close touch line. St. Joe's still trying to connect on some passes deep down the end lines, or touch lines, excuse me. As Drexel has played inspired defense thus far, playing today in a 3-5-2 formation. And on the topic of formations and style of play, Coach Marciano said a lot of that's going to depend on the players and the strengths of the players that we have. He doesn't have a particular formation in mind that he wants to run. Not a specific system, but just wants to play to his players' strengths, particularly early in his tenure here at Drexel. As the Dragons look to develop a new culture under their first-year head coach. Pat Murphy, one of the senior leaders for Drexel. I spoke with him earlier this week, and he told me that this team was super excited for today, really looking forward to the warm weather, and that the team is thrilled to be out playing here today. It's been a rough year, as I'm sure you could imagine. Just a tough time for student athletes as Drexel goes on the attack here. D'Arenigio plays give and go. And good defense here by St. Joe's. Murphy in the area as it's cleared away for a throw-in. Ball into the box. D'Arenigio. Martini now to Murphy. He makes one touch. Tucker boxed out. Good defense there. Aiden Watkins able to slow down that effort by Kyle Tucker. Davis switches point of attack for Drexel. Now up ahead, St. Joe's trying to go on the offensive. Nemo Phillip battles against Adam Nork. And that draws a whistle. Drexel awarded the free kick. Murphy. Up ahead to Donovan. Donovan on the sideline where he's so dangerous. Battles against Hartman. Hartman got the best of him there. And Alex Hartman, the 6'7" defender from Germany. A physical matchup that's tough to get around. on the far sideline. Drexel gets a foul call in their favor. And now a whistle here, this time against the Dragons. Chris Hunt waits to check in for the Hawks. Hunt, a 6'3" sophomore from Delran, New Jersey. We're here in the 23rd minute of play. Drexel and St. Joe's scoreless. Chris Markowitz here for Dragons TV. It's the home opener for the Drexel men's soccer team, as they come into this match at 1-1 on the year. They had a victory in their first match of the season against Villanova. That was back on February 21st. Drexel outscored the Wildcats 3-0. Darnegio had a pair of goals. Chris Donovan scored a goal. And the Dragons fired on all cylinders in Michael Marciano's debut at head coach. But in their loss this year against St. Joe's back on Saturday, the Dragons got down early thanks to a PK in the 17th minute as St. Joe's goes on the attack here. Chance for the Hawks, and this shot is deflected. Nemo Phillip, for a brief moment, had a wide-open look at the goal. Drexel's defense was able to collapse in time to prevent an easy opportunity as a sub comes onto the field now, for St. Joe's. Alan Kalenbeck goes to the sideline, replaced by Chris Hunt. So a corner for St. Joe's, their first of the match. And it will be sent in from the far sideline. High ball into the box. Touched first by Darnegio and then cleared away. That was Martini on the bicycle kick. Long ball up ahead to Darnegio. Chance here for the Dragons. Donovan left uncovered. This a shot for the net, and it goes over the crossbar. Teixeira played it towards the net. Difficult to tell if he was trying the shot or wanted to lob it to Donovan and didn't get enough underneath the ball as the cross or the shot, whatever it is, travels over the bar, and a missed chance there for the Dragons. It was a one-on-one. If Teixeira could have lofted it for Donovan. As we reach the end of the 25th minute, still scoreless. Adam Nork guilty of a foul there. Long ball, headed first by Drexel. Throwing for the Dragons. And when speaking to Don D'Ambra, the St. Joe's coach in his 11th season, he said that the cold of January and February has been a different obstacle for the Hawks this year than anything they've faced in previous seasons, and obviously that's an obstacle for a lot of teams here in the Northeast, as he stressed that, it's not just us, but it's tough because to deal with the cold of January and February, going into their first match, they hadn't practiced for 3 days leading up to it, so it's been tough to get guys in condition and in the physical shape to be ready to go out and play matches, especially when it had been over a year and a half since their last match in the fall of 2019. Meanwhile, St. Joe's on the attack here, deep in Drexel's third of the field. Ball in the box and cleared away. That's a strong clearance by the Dragons' back line. That was Cesar Benacloy Harcourt on the effort. A little more than 18 minutes remain here in the first half. Both teams looking for their first score of the match. Donovan up ahead. Darnigio could be a chance here. Lalu finds the goal. Lalu Darnigio buries one with a little over 17 minutes to play here in the first half. Darnigio with his third goal of the 2021 campaign, and the Dragons take an early advantage. Here's another look. A well-struck ball by Donovan set up Darnigio. He took a couple touches across the 18-yard marker and sends it in on the turf as Drexel grabs a 1-0 lead. That's the first assist of the 2021 campaign for Chris Donovan. Third goal for Lalu Darnigio. And it makes up for a PK opportunity early on in the ballgame at the 13th minute where Darnigio had a chance to score. But Kyle Allen guessed the right direction and stopped Darnigio's ground ball kick towards the left post. That time, though, nothing Allen could do. It was a perfectly placed shot. As here comes St. Joe's now trying to counter. Good pace. Alex Hood tries a cross, but unable to direct it towards the back post. Goal kick for the Dragons. And that goal just shows the confidence and the trust that the Dragons have in Chris Donovan. And he missed time, missed the whole match last week against St. Joe's, but this Drexel offense is a different animal when you have to deal with both Darnigio and Donovan up front at the forward positions. Very excited to see what they can do together throughout this 2021 campaign. Two tall, quick, fast, physical athletes up front. As St. Joe's going on the attack here, Watkins to the close sideline. That's Grana, who runs into a wall. Joey Martini fouled him, and this will be a free kick for St. Joe's at the CAA logo. And this is what Coach Marciano and the Dragons wanted to avoid. Set-piece opportunities for St. Joe's on the offensive third of the field. Nemo Phillip to take the kick off his left foot. He plays it onto the turf. This shot goes on to Lancaster. So a missed chance there for St. Joe's as we enter the 31st minute of play here in the first half. Donovan makes the touch. Keeps it in, and then it's deflected out by David Grana. Ryan Hay waits on the close sideline to check in for St. Joe's. Nork swings it backward. Kyle Tucker now near the center circle. Dribbles through two defenders. Nice footwork here by Tucker. Tucker to Darnigio. Donovan in the box. Martini leaves it. But Drexel with confidence here on the attack. And they have St. Joe's sweating. Drexel trying to go up by 2 goals here in the first half. Martini leaves it. Murphy targeted D'Arenigio on the cross, but it was cleared away. Nice little give and go there. On the back line, Donovan finds the net! Chris Donovan off the assist from Cesar Banacloy Harcourt, and the Dragons take a 2-0 lead. So it was St. Joe's on Saturday with the 2-0 advantage, but Drexel comes into this match with a chip on its shoulder as Chris Donovan buries a goal. His second of the season, his first at home. Well set up there by Banacloy Harcourt, and the Dragons lead 2-0. And there you see Donovan with a cast on his right hand. Playing through some discomfort here today, but he's a warrior and one of the best players in college soccer. Has his first home goal of the 2021 campaign. And that's got to feel good for Coach Marciano and his staff, as they felt that despite the fact that they lost 2-0 to St. Joe's on Saturday, there was a lot of things they could do adjustment-wise to compete against them here this afternoon. That's been the case as Donovan with another potential opportunity, but the through ball struck too hard and into the hands of Allen. And on that goal, it was great work by the defensive back line of the Dragons to win the ball back and then start an attack going the other way. As here comes St. Joe's on the attack, but thwarted. Good hustle there by Tucker. Kyle Tucker started that breakaway for Donovan's goal. D'Arenigio now playing a give and go there with Swigert, but Allen comes out to make the stop, and he'll send it away now for St. Joe's. This has been a very encouraging half for the Dragons. They've controlled possession. Their pace on attacks has been solid, and defensively haven't given up too many opportunities for St. Joe's. Just one free kick opportunity in the Drexel third of the field. And that was one of the keys to the game today for the Dragons. At least defensively, the key was to limit the Hawks' opportunities off set pieces, because this is a St. Joe's team that has a lot of size all across the turf. This pass up ahead by Davis is broken up. Nork with the hustle on the close sideline. Good movement here. Donovan. Well defended. And that was Hartman who came out of nowhere. Alex Hartman moves around pretty gingerly for a 6'7" defensive player. As D'Arenigio in on that interception. But there's Hartman to pick it away for St. Joe's. Pat Murphy now streaks towards the net. Murphy to D'Arenigio. Left it for Donovan, but he couldn't put a clean touch on it. 2 subs will come in for the Dragons. D'Arenigio and Nork head to the bench, replaced by Harrison Caron and David Rylander. Rylander, a 5'9" junior from Stockholm, Sweden. Caron, a 5'5" junior from Malvern, Pennsylvania. At the end of the 35th minute here, Drexel ahead 2-0. It's been all Dragons in the first half. The Dragons trying to avenge a 2-0 loss on the road against St. Joe's back on Saturday as this cross into the box and into the goal! Drexel ahead 3-0! Tiago Teixeira with the goal here in the 36th minute as the Dragons pile on. Frustration begins to mount here for St. Joe's. It's been all Dragons here in the first half. Another look. Teixeira buries it into the upper 90. And the Dragons in complete control here at Vitus Field. What a home opener for the Dragons in the first half. And that goal by Teixeira puts the Dragons ahead by 3. A little under 10 minutes to play here in the opening half. As the Dragons have completely flipped the script from Saturday. And this is a Drexel team playing with a lot of injuries to key players. Both teams are. But I'm sure Coach Marciano and his staff are encouraged by what they have seen here today. As this ball played ahead, intended for Donovan, and Allen able to get it away in the nick of time. Another sub waiting to check in for the Dragons. It's Chris Carroll, the 5'6" senior from Perry Hall, Maryland. As on the back line here, a whistle against Drexel. So this will be a free kick for St. Joe's. Allen sends it towards the center circle. Ball into the box, but it'll be an easy stop for Allen. So the goal for Teixeira, his first in the Drexel kit, as he transferred here to Drexel from St. John's. Played 2 years in the Big East for the Red Storm. Scored a goal for them in the 2019 campaign, so it's the second goal of his college career. And it gives the Dragons a 3-0 lead here in the first half. An absolutely dominant performance by Drexel on their home pitch. And the assist on that play was credited to Chris Donovan, who has a goal and an assist today. So Dono doing it all, as is traditionally the case. Murphy tries a cross, and this goes out of play. Last touch by St. Joe's for a corner. Drexel continues to put pressure on the Hawks here, as they have a corner from the far side of the field. High cross, headed by a Dragon, but out onto the turf behind the goal. That was Cesar Banacloy Harcourt who made contact on the header but got underneath it. Chris Carroll onto the pitch. He replaces Elliot Swigert here in the 39th minute of play. Correction, we're in the 40th minute, less than 6 minutes to play here in the half. Donovan over to Murphy. Tucker, who's played well defensively for the Dragons and started a breakaway possession that resulted in a Donovan goal. And Kyle Tucker, a junior out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, one of the players that Coach Marciano is excited about. Good pressure here from the Dragons as Allen kicks it over the head of Donovan. St. Joe's trying to put together a late attack here as Morales took a tumble, well defended by the Dragons. Close sideline. Physical defense there by Grana, who sends it backwards over to Watkins. Hayden Watkins, one of the senior captains for St. Joe's. Grana in the area as both teams trying to secure possession. This is a foul against the Dragons. And St. Joe's with a set-piece opportunity. .42 minute of action. Phillip lines up to take it. Phillip, high cross, and Kopsachillis bobbled it for a moment, and then a whistle by the back referee. So Kopsachillis secured it, and while the ball was secured, it was jarred loose. So this will be a free opportunity for him to send it downfield. In the center circle, Drexel with solid defense there. Bannon-Cloy Harcourt with the pressure as it's sent back to Kopsachillis. Tucker plays a through ball up ahead. Caron appears to be in some discomfort. Perhaps he took a cleat to the back of his ankle there. In the center circle, St. Joe's are trying to go on the attack here. Phillip pushes forward, defended by two Dragons. And then a foul is called. Martini not happy with the call there, but it will be a free kick nonetheless for the Hawks. Less than 2 minutes remain here in the first half of play. St. Joe's trails by 3, trying to get onto the scoreboard here at the end of the first half and make this a somewhat manageable deficit. Ball struck into the box, and Kopsachillis with a nice deflection there. Catch on the fadeaway. Looked like Odell Beckham Jr. going up for a catch at the back of the end zone. He was right against Alex Hartman, who listed at 6'7", could have easily made a connection with the back of the net, but Kopsachillis goes up, makes an athletic stop, and keeps this a scoreless ball game for St. Joe's. Drexel on the other end of the field now. Caron plays it into the box, and Allen comes out to send it away for St. Joe's. He'll take his time. Less than 40 seconds remain in the half. Close sideline. Donovan. Over to Carroll. Nothing home for the Dragons. St. Joe's tries for one last opportunity here in the half. And the Hawks won't get it. As the clock ticks down towards 0. And after 45 minutes of action, the Drexel Dragons lead the St. Joe's Hawks 3-0 in their home opener. And we'll take another look here at this set-piece chance but for St. Joe's. Kopsachillis goes up and hauls in the stop. A nice play there defensively for the Dragons to end the half. We'll take a break. It's halftime here at Vitus Field. So we'll send it away, and when we come back, we'll recap the first half. You're watching Drexel Soccer here on Dragons TV. Welcome back to Vitus Field as we're at the tail end of halftime. Drexel ahead of St. Joe's 3-0 in the Dragons' home opening match of the 2021 campaign. And just when it seemed as if things couldn't get any worse for St. Joe's, the Hawks with a red card issued at halftime. Ryan Hay, number 17, ejected, allegedly for spitting on one of Drexel's players. So St. Joe's will have to play the second half not only down by 3 goals, but down 1 player. As Drexel was dominant in the first half of action, the Dragons came into today with a chip on their shoulder after a 2-0 loss on the road against St. Joe's back on Saturday. But the Dragons felt that they could compete with this Hawks squad, and they've made that known here today, taking a 3-0 advantage. And I don't have the stats officially on me, but I've been doing Drexel men's soccer games for a long time, and I can tell you, I can't remember the last time the Dragons had 3 goals in a first half. So this has been a historic performance for Coach Marciano in his first year and his first home match with the Dragons, as Drexel will be on defense to start, going left to right on your screen. They are dressed in their home kit with yellow and white jerseys and navy blue shorts. St. Joe's will be going right to left, dressed in their road red. Tower Health is proud to support the home team and connect you to your healthiest. In this case, Tower Health is proud to support the Dragons. You can discover more at towerhealth.org. St. Joe's will kick off here in the second half. And just as I say, I can't remember the last time the Dragons scored 3 goals in a game. I'm getting a text from Rob Smith saying, we beat St. Joe's 4-2 on my senior night. What are you talking about? So glad to be fact-checked here in the 46th minute. So Drexel with a 3-0 advantage and a player advantage as St. Joe's lost Ryan Hay to an ejection. It was a red card ejection issued at halftime. Drexel with possession early on in the second half, as was the case through the first 45 minutes of play. That's Teixeira, who scored back in the 32nd minute of action. 36th minute of action, excuse me. Donovan scored in the 32nd. St. Joe's trying to mount some momentum, but Darnigio there to make a nice defensive play. Adam Nork swings it to the close sideline as Drexel switches the point of attack. Tucker, who's played a solid match today in the midfield. Now Nork swings towards the left side of the pitch. Teixeira takes his time. Nork now with the shadows creeping out onto the turf. It was 55 degrees, at kickoff to start this match. Around 50 degrees now. A beautiful day here in Philadelphia. A sunny afternoon into evening now as the sun is going down behind our booth here at Vitus Field. Kyle Allen to send this away on a free kick for St. Joe's. Michael Mullins heads to the sideline momentarily as he's a little bit banged up. Appears to be bleeding, so he's being tended to by the trainer here for the Hawks. So we wait for Mullins as the clock is stopped with 42 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the second half. And Mullins will have to head to the bench, having problems with a nosebleed. Jack Hirschfield will replace him. So it's a substitution. But Mullins will be able to re-enter the pitch if he would like to, as he had to go to the sideline involuntarily. Pressure from St. Joe's. Hawks looking for their first goal, trying to make this a manageable deficit as Murphy misplayed the clearance. Morales has it poked loose. Drexel goes on the counter. Donovan, unable to track it down. Here's Murphy. Pat Murphy wins possession for the Dragons. Murphy, ball into the box, cleared back to him. Now Murphy had Swigert on the through ball, but it was intercepted. And now the ball travels out of play on the close touchline. Throw in for Drexel. Tucker. Drexel switches the point of attack. That's Nork, over to the far sideline. We're in the 60th minute of action. Donovan up to Darnigio. Well defended. And then cleared out towards the close sideline. Tucker through a sea of red jerseys. Well defended by St. Joe's. Martini. And Drexel slows down in no hurry here. The Dragons with a 3-goal advantage. A 11-10 player advantage due to the red card. And it will be St. Joe's who needs to mount a big comeback here in the second half as Mullins re-enters for the Hawks. Murphy to Martini, and St. Joe's comes away with it. Watkins plays the ball to the far touchline, but too much mustard on it. Grana unable to run it down. And these are two teams playing today with a lot of injuries. Kyle Allen in goal today for St. Joe's, but he's not their traditional keeper. Louis Ludesson, the 6'6" freshman from Germany, was supposed to be their starter, but he's in quarantine. So Allen has the start today in place of him as this cross into the box cleared away by Hartman. And Michael Mullins, who is playing with had a bloody nose a few minutes earlier. It was cleaned up on the sidelines, but he's been battling through some injuries early in this 2021 campaign. So it hasn't been at 100%. Goal kick here for Allen. Near midfield, D'Arenigio slows down, tries to set up the attack, and swings the ball backwards as Drexel will reset and send it to the other end of the field. Murphy over to Tucker. Now Murphy with space plays the ball forward. Murphy at the 18-yard marker targeted D'Arenigio, and it's cleared away. On the far sideline, Martini swings to Nork at the center circle. Nork plays one on the ground, and it's intercepted by James Fletcher. But there's Murphy and Tucker to get the ball right back. And the hustle today by Kyle Tucker. He's been a presence on both sides of the pitch for the Dragons. Hasn't scored or been credited with an assist, but his play has been fundamental to Drexel's 3-0 advantage. There's Tucker again with a header up to Murphy. And this is a Drexel team that Coach Marciano said that they're adjusting well to the transition. They're having a lot of fun in practice, keeping things light. It's tough to be a student athlete in this current climate, but the Dragons are having fun with it, and you could see it here today with the way that they have played in their home opener. Martini plays it to the close sideline. Now Murphy sends it backwards. And Drexel can play like this all night. No way St. Joe's will be able to catch them if they could just keep the ball on the offensive side of the field and move it around, let time tick off the clock. Obviously, St. Joe's in a deep hole right now As Murphy sends in a cross, the header is missed. That was an opportunity there for another goal for Teixeira, but he couldn't connect with Murphy's cross. And this is a crater that St. Joe's has to climb out of. Down by 3 goals and with a player out due to a red card. This is, ironically, pretty much the same situation the Dragons found themselves in on Saturday on the road against St. Joe's, as Drexel trailed by 2 when Michael McCarthy had to leave the turf with a red card, and the Dragons played a man down for the final 13 minutes of action. Murphy, close sideline. Nice pass up ahead. Into the box. This cross towards the net. Too strong. D'Arnigio put too much power behind that one. And Coach Rankin's got him squatting a little too much in the weight room as D'Arnigio sent that shot over the crossbar. But Lalu has been a presence today for the Dragons. Had the first goal of the match in the 28th minute. He's put 4 shots towards the goal. 2 have been on target. 2 have just missed. One of them being that shot over the crossbar a few moments ago, as we have a foul here on St. Joe's. Good sportsmanship there from Morales, who helps the injured or banged up Dragon to his feet. That was Swigert who took the contact. Tucker towards midfield. That's Nork. And Drexel has looked good today in spite of some key injuries. Haven't had the presence of some young talent in depth. Haven't had Cameron Sanders in goal. Kopsachillis has played well today, though. And he's been relatively untested. But Steven Kopsachillis, when he's needed to, has made plays today. Just one save, but made a couple big plays on crosses off of set pieces. And looking at the list of injuries coming into today's match for the Dragons, Ben Detweiler listed as available, but Coach Marciano didn't want to play him just to give him an extra day to rest. So Detweiler, the 6-foot junior, not on the pitch today as he's recovering from an injury. So I think Coach Marciano's happy his team has this 3-0 advantage. There's another chance here for the Dragons, but it trickles out of play across the far sideline. Drexel applying pressure here. And Adam Nork has been battling through an injury early in this 2021 campaign. Coach Marciano said that Nork is as tough as nails. Nork out there today. He's played every minute so far for the Dragons in this one. D'Arnigio wanted a foul called there, didn't get it. St. Joe's tries to go on the attack, and now Tucker bumped from behind. Kopsachillis comes out of the net to clear that away. James Fletcher was threatening. This will be a throw-in for St. Joe's, and a correction. Nork did take a break, so he's rested for 10 minutes in this match, but it's been a spirited performance today by Adam Nork in the midfield, playing through an injury. Kalen Beck tries to send it across, but that's out of play for a goal kick. Phillip re-enters for St. Joe's, and he replaces Alex Hood as we enter the 31st minute of action. 61st minute, excuse me. Shadows almost entirely engulfing Vitus Field now. Murphy plays a ball forward, intended for D'Arnigio. Donovan off the deflection, tries the left-footed shot, but it's broken up. Tucker with a nice touch finds Murphy. Back to Tucker. And Drexel playing in complete control here through the first 17 minutes of the second half. The Dragons, they think they have a solid chance as we look ahead at the 2021 campaign. Drexel in the CAA in the North Division, they'll play Hofstra this year in the regular season, Delaware, Northeastern. But speaking to Coach Marciano, speaking to Pat Murphy earlier this week, they both said that they think they have as good of a chance as anyone in the CAA to make a run this year and win the conference tournament. So the Dragons playing like that here today with a 3-0 advantage over St. Joe's. Drexel won its season opener 3-0 over Villanova on the road. And if the Dragons can get a couple key players healthy, the combination of D'Arnigio and Donovan up front, mixed in with some veterans in the midfield and on the back line, makes Drexel a tough squad to compete with. And who knows, they could give any team in the CAA a run for its money, as the Dragons in recent years had chances against top teams in the CAA to come away with some upset victories. Just couldn't find the finishing touches, but this being a new year, a new regime, a new staff, perhaps the tide has turned for Drexel in this 2021 campaign, as D'Arnigio, with a brief look at the goal, couldn't make a clean touch, but Drexel will have a corner off of the deflection. Allen got credited with the save, but couldn't haul it in, as the Dragons, with a couple substitutions, Pat Murphy will go to the bench, replaced by Anthony Amore. And Adam Nork heads to the sideline, replaced by David Rylander. So a corner kick for the Dragons. Line drive towards the net, and it's handled by St. Joe's. Phillip, with nobody back to play with on offense, has to slow things down. St. Joe's works the far sideline. Good movement here. Kalen Beck, who hasn't had much of an impact today. Ball in the midfield. Morales now swings into the close sideline. That's Cunningham. Fletcher now into the corner. James Fletcher sends in a cross, and it's cleared away by Tucker. Back into the box. Drexel goes on the counter. Swigert. Close sideline. Hits Amore in stride. Anthony Amore keeps the ball in and slows it down for the Dragons. Tucker plays a through ball forward for Amore, and this will be a throw-in for Drexel. A quick look ahead at the schedule for the Dragons. After today's match with the Hawks, they will take on LaSalle on the road on March 6th. That's this Saturday. Kickoff scheduled for 5 p.m. Then the Dragons will hit the road for their first conference match of the season. That'll be 2 Saturdays from now on March 13th at Hofstra for a 2 p.m. kickoff. Drexel will again be on the road on March 21st for a Sunday match against Delaware at 7 p.m. And then the Dragons will return home on March 24th to take on LaSalle. That match at 2 p.m. here at Vitus Field. The Dragons don't have their first home conference match until April 2nd. As St. Joe's with a chance here, Kopsachillis comes out to make a play on the ball in front of Fletcher. James Fletcher had a near one-on-one opportunity there against Kopsachillis, but couldn't run the ball down. So the Dragons will have their first home conference match April 2nd, which is a Friday. That'll be at 1 p.m. against the Huskies. And then they'll round out the conference and season schedule on April 10th on Saturday. And that's a 6 p.m. start time against Delaware. At midfield, Martini plays it forward. Amore to the close sideline for Swigert. Swigert, well defended on the play by Cunningham. Back heel touch by Phillip. Fletcher with some contact there, some rough and tumble play by both sides. The officials called a foul on the Dragons. This will be a free kick for St. Joe's right near midfield as substitutions wait on the sideline for both teams. Alex Hood waiting to check in for St. Joe's. 3 subs patiently standing by for the Dragons. Watkins plays it on the ground, close sideline. That's Phillip. And St. Joe's works from midfield. Far sideline, flag goes up, offsides, and the Dragons will kick off the reset. Banacloy Harcourt up ahead to Amore, back to him. Less than 22 minutes remain here at Vitus Field. Drexel ahead of St. Joe's 3-0. And for those of you who are joining us late here on Dragons TV, Drexel scored first in the 28th minute as Daranigio with a shot for the goal. It's deflected in by Donovan. Daranigio able to connect with Chris Donovan as the Dragons take a 4-0 advantage. Donovan with his second goal of the match. Absolute dominance by Drexel here this evening. Coach Marciano and his staff applauding from the sideline. Chris Donovan with 3 goals now on the 2021 campaign. We'll have another look as Daranigio, and there's the end of the play. Donovan buried it home. Looked like a shot at first by Lalu, but perhaps he did see Donovan striking towards the net, and Donovan buried it for his second goal of the match. The Dragons ahead 4-0, way ahead here as Donovan goes to the bench. Slew of substitutions enter the game for the Dragons. And just as I was recapping how we got to this point, if you're just joining us, Drexel all over St. Joe's here tonight. The Dragons scored first back in the 28th minute thanks to a goal from Lalu Daranigio off an assist by Chris Donovan. And then 4 minutes later in the 32nd minute of action, Donovan scored. 4 minutes after that, Donovan set up a goal as Tiago Teixeira scored his first Drexel career goal. And then a few minutes ago, late in this game, Chris Donovan in the 68th minute of play with his second goal of the match, third of the season. What a game for Chris Donovan, who has 2 goals and an assist here tonight. On the far sideline now. Kopsachillis tries to clear the ball downfield. And Drexel secures possession. Chris Donovan and Lalu Daranigio have been a terror today for the Dragons. Donovan, who missed Saturday's match against St. Joe's with an injury, was back out on the turf in the starting lineup. He's on the sideline now, but having him and Daranigio up front makes Drexel a tough team to stop. And as senior Pat Murphy put it, with those two up front, we could beat anybody in the nation. That's how confident we feel. Chris Donovan and Lalu Daranigio, a combination to be reckoned with here in 2021. As St. Joe's goes on the attack now, trailing by 4. And St. Joe's throwing up a prayer here. Not much they could do. Down by 4 goals and missing a player as they had a red card assigned to Ryan Hay at halftime. Just a tough evening for the Hawks. And with the way he's performed today, obviously we'll have to wait and see what happens in Drexel's March 6th match with LaSalle, but Chris Donovan with 2 goals and an assist, I would assume he's well on his way to a CAA all-week selection for this week. Donovan, who was named to the preseason top 100 players to watch list in Division I college soccer. He was a first-team CAA selection in 2019, a Soccer 6 All-Star selection. In his rookie year in 2018, a CAA All-Rookie selection. And Drexel now with a free kick. Under 18 minutes to play. Kyle Tucker will take it. Tucker, line drive, headed first by St. Joe's. Now a shot towards net is over the crossbar. A powerful strike there. Off the foot of Harrison Caron, but he left it high. 2 subs onto the pitch for St. Joe's. Chris Hunt and Max Moyer enter the match to replace Alan Kalenbeck and Aiden Watkins. So Kalenbeck and Watkins, 2 senior captains for the Hawks, head to the Pine. Daranigio plays it into the box. Tucker winds up. Daranigio unable to put solid contact on the header. Caron in the far corner. Dribbles free. On the back line, Caron hustles against his defender. And now it's cleared away downfield by Mullins. Drexel with the ball at midfield. Far sideline, St. Joe's trails by 4, looking to put together some offensive action, but Drexel maintains possession of the ball on St. Joe's third of the turf. Whistle here, and this will be a foul against the Hawks. Free kick for the Dragons. Carroll initially lined up to take it. Now he leaves it. It'll be Tucker to take it. Kyle Tucker here in the 76th minute sends in a line drive, headed away by St. Joe's. Tucker tracks it down, tries a shot, and it's knocked down. A powerful strike off the right cleat of Kyle Tucker, but the strong hands of Kyle Allen knock it down for the save. The Fresh Grocer is a proud sponsor of Drexel Athletics. Shop in-store or online at thefreshgrocer.com. Curbside pickup and contactless delivery options are available daily. So after the save by Allen, St. Joe's goes on the attack and earns a free kick here on a Drexel foul. Tower Health is proud to support the Dragons and connect you with your healthiest. Discover more at towerhealth.org. Nemo Phillip with the free kick for St. Joe's. As we're in the 77th minute of action, Phillip off the left cleat. It's deflected first by Teixeira. Now Teixeira tracks the ball down on the far sideline. And it goes out of play. Last touched by Teixeira. Throw in for St. Joe's. And there on the far sideline, you see the last remains of the mounds of snow from what felt like a month-long snow day. We were just hit by chilly afternoon after chilly afternoon here in the Northeast, and it snowed 3 or 4 times in a 2-week span. Temperatures stayed frigid as St. Joe's with a chance here, but it's well defended by Drexel. That was Hood who went on the offensive, but was met by 4 Dragons at the 18-yard marker. Kopsachillis picks up the ball and will throw it away downfield. So the snow is almost completely melted here in Philadelphia. This has been a gorgeous evening. Temperatures around 55 degrees throughout this match. As spring is quickly approaching, and that's something that I think both these teams and every team in college soccer, for that matter, is happy to know. It's been a tough adjustment for these squads, making the transition, traditionally playing in the summer first, having the warm temperature to train in, and then as the season progresses, getting accustomed to playing in the cold temperature. This year it's been the reverse. But give a lot of credit to all the student athletes out on the pitch today for the effort that they've put into this 2021 campaign. Both coaches throughout the week reminding me, Chris, look, as tough as it is to try to win games, we have to remind ourselves we are in the middle of a global pandemic. So the gratitude felt by both these rosters just to be out on the pitch, to be playing a college soccer match and have some semblance of normalcy. Pat Murphy told me, look, it's been 477 days, or it was 477 days between his last match in the fall of 2019 and Drexel's season opening victory against Villanova a few weeks ago. So the fact that Pat and these players taking stock and noting exactly how many days it had been since their last in-game action just shows how much these players missed being out on the field and playing in real game action. It's one thing to practice and to play against one another in scrimmage environments. It's an entirely different feeling and set of emotions to be out on the pitch playing in college soccer action. And the emotions have been high early in the year for a lot of these players, as Drexel with a lot of subs out onto the pitch now. Grant Newcomb, the 6'3" freshman from Wilmington, Delaware, on the back line for the Dragons. Bennett Detweiler getting some run here late. Coach Marciano said he didn't want to play him much as he's battling through some injuries, but is nearing a return to 100%. So he gets some game action here today. Free kick for the Dragons. Under 10 minutes to go here in regulation. Drexel cruising ahead by 4. Amore with his pass intercepted. And now a foul here as Hartman took a tumble. Alex Hartman, the 6'7" defender for St. Joe's, draws the yellow card. And a free kick for the Dragons, or for the Hawks, excuse me. Clock is stopped with 9:25 to go in regulation. And that yellow card issued to Graham Newcomb. For those of you just joining us, Drexel scored first in the 28th minute of action to take a 1-0 lead off a goal by Lalu Daranigio. He was assisted on the play by Chris Donovan. 4 minutes later, in the 32nd minute of play, Donovan scored. And then in the 36th minute, Donovan assisted Teixeira. Drexel had a 3-0 advantage at the half. And then in the 68th minute of play, Chris Donovan scored his second goal of the match off an assist from Lalu Daranigio. And that is where we currently are with the Dragons ahead 4-0. Potentially another chance here. There's Donovan. Gets behind everyone. Donovan puts on the brakes. Sends in a cross, but it's well defended by St. Joe's. Player down in the box for the Dragons as we have a whistle here. No signal yet as to who it's on. It looks like it will be a foul, though. Excuse me, no, it's an injury call here. The player down for the Dragons was Banacloy Harcourt. So the official just wanted to give him some time to get back out onto his feet. As Allen plays the ball forward dangerously to a defensive player, and then St. Joe's able to work it to the close sideline. Swigert up ahead. That's Donovan. Chris Donovan playing with a cast on his right hand. He's got 2 goals and an assist today. Detweiler to the far sideline. Drexel in complete control here. Nice little give and go. And this shot over the crossbar, another close opportunity for the Dragons. That was off the foot of Mark Cantor, the 5'10 sophomore from Bel Air, Maryland. Sub onto the pitch for St. Joe's. Jack Hirschfield comes into the match and replaces Alex Hartman. Hartman goes to the bench, and a tough day for the Hawks, but Alex Hartman, the sophomore, with an impressive effort today. He was all over the pitch defensively for St. Joe's, as this will be a throw-in for the Hawks. Whistle here, and Drexel will have the free kick. Ball played forward towards the box, and it's cleaned up by Allen. Now Allen will fake a throw. Detweiler with the header. Teixeira. Well marked here by Morales. Teixeira takes a tumble, and that draws a foul as Morales helps him to his feet. Teixeira sends the free kick towards the center circle. 86th minute of action. Drexel way ahead 4-0. With a win in the match, the Dragons will improve to 2-1 on the 2021 campaign. St. Joe's will fall to 1-2 on the year. Chance here for Drexel. Karin tries a cross, and it's deflected out, so this will be a corner for the Dragons. Drexel in a dominant effort today. They have outshot St. Joe's 19-5. The Dragons have put 7 shots on goal in comparison to 1 for the Hawks. This corner for the Dragons, their 6th of the evening. And St. Joe's has been playing this entire half a man down. As this corner, a low cross that's deflected into the hands of Allen. A near 5th goal for the Dragons, but Allen makes the stop. A little more than 3 minutes remain here in regulation. Kopsachillis in no hurry to Detweiler. And Detweiler, the younger brother of Jamison Detweiler, who played here for the Dragons, was a member of Drexel's last CAA tournament champion team. Ball played forward to Hood. Hood in the box. Sends it backwards. That's Cunningham up ahead. Hood on a swing. Now a lob into the box, headed towards the net. Kopsachillis makes a save at the last moment. Detweiler got in there as well for a deflection. Steven Kopsachillis with a late save to keep St. Joe's off the board. Free kick coming here for the Dragons. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the match. This one basically a formality now. Drexel with one final push here on the attack. Teixeira tries a shot, and it's deflected and then gobbled up by Allen. 60 seconds to play here at Vitus Field. Deep punt sent downfield by Allen. Hood keeps it in. And then guarded by two Dragons. Swings it backwards to Cunningham. Cunningham crosses it into the box. The header is missed. And this will be a goal kick for Kopsachillis. And the Dragons can feel it. 22 seconds and counting as Drexel well on its way to a home victory in the Dragons' season home opener. Kopsachillis lets the clock expire, and that'll do it. The final score, Drexel 4, St. Joe's 0. A dominant home opening victory for Coach Michael Marciano and his squad. So a good start to the coaching tenure of Michael Marciano. The Dragons with a solid performance on their home pitch as they avenge a 2-0 loss to St. Joe's back on Saturday. 2 goals in the game by Chris Donovan. He also had an assist. Daranigio with a goal and assist. Teixeira with a goal. Big shout out to our crew here at SFBN. For my producer, Sean Kelly, I'm Chris Markowitz saying so long and good night from Vitus Field here in West Philadelphia.